Hello, welcome to the next video for the channel. I'm going to do another pencil sketch today using the Nick Pro pencil set that I bought from Amazon. I'll leave a link to it as usual in the description of the video in case you want to go and purchase it. It's a really good value set. 5 pencils of different leads and loads of different replacement leads and rubbers and whatever, or erasers. I thought I'd do another male nude study from the same photo set that I did for the last video, partly because that was such a struggle, and I'm hoping that I can learn from the last one and do a slightly quicker, less struggled drawing today. So let's get on with it. So on the last male nude pencil sketch that I did, those of you that watched it, I really struggled with that drawing because I ended up starting with far too much detail. So rather than map out the whole figure, I was doing a very detailed portrait before I put the body in. So on this one I've tried to learn from that, and I'm starting by mapping out the whole of the body and where it is, getting the proportions right, or as right as I possibly can, before starting to put the shading on and making it look a bit more three-dimensional and realistic. I'm actually getting much better at sort of laying out the figure in proportion with the right angles so that it does look like a human before the shading starts. That's basically just because I'm doing it a lot more often than I used to. So there's sort of like a muscle memory involved in that. When I am laying out the figure, I'm looking at the angles of things. So where is something in relation to something else? Is the top of the foot, for instance, higher than the head in the background? What is the angle of the legs? What's the angle of the legs going backwards? It's quite a difficult pose to do actually, because the arms are upside down to where you would normally see them, so they don't lie quite as they would if the model was lying on their back, and the legs the feet are pointing back over the bottom. So it's quite a difficult pose to do, but I've managed to actually get it quite accurate without too much rubbing out, which is good to see. I'm actually starting to do the shading now to give the three-dimensionality of the form, and actually this is a photograph from the same set as the last drawing that I did, and I mentioned in the last video that I had 2 light sources on this model, so there is lights coming from either side of the model, in front of the model, but from either side. So of course with the legs up in the air, this is causing quite a difficulty in that there are shadows cast from each foot going in opposite directions across the body, and that's something that I struggle with, as you'll see. I start putting those shadows in just to get them right, but then I have to darken them because the whole of the model is fairly dark. It's in low lighting, low directional lighting. So perhaps I should have started with a coloured paper maybe to get that to lower the whole tone of the drawing, rather than have to sort of keep going over the shadows that I've already added to make them darker as I make the highlights darker, because nothing is in strong light in this pose. So you can see now that I've done the shadows once, but I'm now doing the second sweep over the whole body and darkening all of the back, for instance, and all the legs, because as I said, there's no strong lighting on this. So as I darken the general tone of the figure, I then have to go in and darken the shadows, the darker shadows that I've already put in. So again, I'm learning from this. maybe it would have been better to do some sort of subtractive drawing, so scribble over the whole page and then use the eraser to erase some of the highlights. That might have been a different approach. But yeah, it's interesting to watch back from my point of view to see how I build up the three-dimensionality of the figure over time. I'm now beginning to put the background shadows in, and again those are similar to what I've done on the body. I have to darken those, although the sheets that the model is lying on are white. It's still quite a dull, low lit scene really, so I don't want to lose the body in the drawing, so it's sort of a bit not copying exactly the lighting that we've got in the photograph, I suppose. Well, this is the finished drawing. Bit sketchy in parts. Overall, it's not too bad. I didn't struggle quite as much as I did with the last one, even though the lighting was difficult to get right. It didn't take quite as long as the last one either. The last one took about an hour, but this one only took about 45 minutes. I suppose partly helped by the fact that there's no difficulty of drawing facial features accurately and that sort of thing. That helps. Okay, thank you for watching the video. I'll try and do another one soon. Do keep watching, do subscribe, do comment on the videos if you can. That will help the interaction on the channel. Very grateful for everybody who is following me so far. Do spread the word. Thanks for watching then. See you on the next one. Bye.